Friday night in Phoenix. Woo! You're listening to the Absolute Geek Podcast.
Welcome everyone to the greatest geek and nerd podcast in all the damn land. You're listening to the Absolute Geek Podcast. I am Matt.
I'm Jose.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Bryan.
And tonight with us we have a very special guest. We have a member of the Absolute Geek Army, your very own community. We have with us Tim. Welcome back again, Tim. You have to unmute yourself, Tim. Tim is not doing anything. What are you doing, Tim?
He's trying to figure out how to unmute himself.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
You're already falling apart, Tim.
No!
No, he's home, man. This is home for him.
Tim version 0.2 is not off to a great start.
No, he just you know what he needs to do? He needs to realize that he's already messed up. Himself? So everything else is going to be great.
He needs to realize that he's still on mute.
You gotta start low.
Yeah, Tim, your mute's on the Google Hangout.
There you go.
There you go.
There he goes.
Okay, there it is.
There he goes.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, brother. How you doing?
Doing pretty good, guys. How about you?
Another crazy
Ready to get
day.
Another week.
Looks like we're gonna have
to unmute yourself.
We might have our first monsoon of the season out here, boys.
Heard had that today.
I know it smelled like it.
Yeah. So
Finally, some fucking rain.
yeah.
Nah, there's no rain. I took a shower and used Old Spring in your shower. That's what you're smelling.
Yeah. Old
Oh, nice.
Old
Thanks.
Spring, Irish Spring.
Irish Spring. There it is. Old Spring. Same damn thing.
All the springs.
Irish, all the springs. Every spring
it's-
you can sprung.
Yeah. Sprung.
It's Friday night. Finally.
I
It
know.
is.
Tim is right.
What's up, boys? How was your week?
Oh, long. Fuck this week.
Isn't it all week, every week long?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. This one was longer than normal.
Yeah.
After the shortness of last week, this week sucked.
I think the heat is what
Right?
kind of made it so bad. I mean, the
Makes
heat.
it worse.
Fuck.
We live in Arizona. 113 is nothing.
Yeah. What's the weather like where you're at right now, Tim?
It's like it was high 80s, low 90s today, but the humidity is like ridiculous.
Oh God, yeah. I don't want to deal with that.
So, just like walking out the door, even though you don't see the sun.
So your ass is
Tacky
like
down.
Velcro when you get off your chair.
Yep.
What's it like at night?
Still, right now, it's like straight up tacky bag outside.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Powder up, or you'll regret it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He carries a jar of cornstarch with him everywhere he goes,
Yeah.
Doesn't everybody?
in case he gets hungry. He can dip him in some oil and make some hush puppies.
I dip my balls in it. I used to love
I
that
knew it
shit.
was going to be that kind of party.
Yeah. Oh, that's why. Are you drinking yet? It is that kind of party.
This episode is brought to you by Bullet
No, it's not.
Bourbon.
No, it's not.
It's said boulet.
We are absolutely in no way
French.
affiliated. The
French.
Absolute Geek Podcast is no way affiliated with Bullet Bourbon.
Other
Yeah,
than
totally
we
affiliated with
like
Bullet Bourbon.
water.
Look,
Yeah.
No, we are not.
We want to be.
We would like.
would be
Kyle
awesome.
would like to be, yes, but we are not currently.
I'll say, not yet.
Oh,
Yep. Thanks, Jose. Thanks for that.
not a problem.
Classy as always,
Oh.
Jose.
Oh, I love that when you take off that cap.
The cork
That
of
sound?
excellence.
Yeah, that's cool. That they got a cork. Old school.
It's a cork because it's frontier
That's
whiskey.
class.
Oh, Frontier whiskey. I like
Yes,
that.
sir.
Man, it's got to have a gimmick, right? Everything's got to be old. So,
Old as
That
new.
cork
Soon to be
means class.
sponsored by. Not yet.
Never.
Monster
Stop it.
Energy,
Stop
and the
it.
new Limp Bizkit
What do you mean
album.
never? Never say never.
So,
Except for right now.
Never.
any of you
Whatever.
guys got any thing you want to say before we get started here?
I want to promote the road to 200. We are, once we hit 200 subscribers on YouTube, I've said last week I would be giving a slab away, and I have decided which slab it's going to be. So the slab I'll be giving away after 200 is Marvel Legacy #1, the Ross sketch variant. And I'm trying not to have a glare, but it looks like this. I'm giving away a 9.8 graded CGC slab.
And what is it
So-
again? What's the name of the book?
Marvel Legacy 1.
The Alex Ross. Is that a 1 in 25?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. It's a really
Yep,
beautiful
it's an
cover.
Alex Ross sketch cover. So
Yeah. It might be a 1 in 100. You might want to look that up, man. Does it say on there? I can't even remember.
it doesn't say on it.
Yeah.
But that will be when we hit 200, we will put everybody's name into a drawing, and somebody will win this lucky thing.
Yep. That is a beautiful book.
One entry per item, Tim.
Hey, Tim, you can't blame Tim, Matt. If I remember correctly, I think it was specifically stated you can enter as many times as you want.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Yes.
just messing with them.
It was.
You could have cut it off in any time, man.
Or we could have just faked it.
We want to make sure you guys are having fun.
Everybody else. Yeah. So, real quick, we want to also talk about something that we're doing here with the we started doing the giveaways and stuff. And one thing that we kind of put our heads together and took us 4 months to come up with was we got our own Absolute Geek box coming here soon. And as you can see, the quality control at this place that are making our boxes, they're A1. So they use old Loot Crate boxes, but we're just trying to get it out to you guys. So we'll have to give a call to their quality control department. But what our plan is the first week of every month, we're gonna do some kind of drawing, random drawing. You can only enter one per person, and what we're gonna ask you to do is go out there and share our links. Share our Facebook posts whenever something's going live. Throw up a little comment about it and say, "Hey, you love the show? Please check it out." Just something you can do to help us, and then
it should be a hashtag that we can search to make them sharing it find it easier, like hashtag AP or AGP 200 or something like that.
Yeah. We'll figure out something, but we're just kind of letting it out there and get a little bit of interest drummed up, and just so you guys can see what's going to be on some of the stuff. We have all kinds of goodies that this company is supplying, and it's almost random. We're thinking about maybe they talked to us about doing some type of theme boxes. We're not too sure about that yet, but they did give us an idea of one. We'll get to that in a second. But they did send us each a couple items they sent us each a loot box with some items that were in there. So we're just going to kind of show you some of the things that we got. I know Kyle got.
Official he's making all this.
Yeah, Kyle got one. Matt got one. I got two. So let's start showing them what we got. I mean, I've already pulled all my stuff out. I don't know if you guys have too, but I've already pulled it all out. So it's not like an unboxing thing. But so out of the two boxes that I got, I guess I'll just start. We can go one at a time and show kind of what we got. This was kind of cool. Old school Garbage Pail Kid cheap toy candy. It's in a little garbage pail bag. You can tell it's old. It's probably from some old store or something. They got an old stock. But let's take a look and see what's in this real quick. Go ahead and open this up.
The Tears of Children.
The Tears of Children. You know what? I don't want to open this up because it's sealed. So but I can see what's in it, and they look like little figures, old school Garbage Pail figures. So you can see this is like blind box figures back in '85, because this did come out in '85 or '86. So that's kind of cool. I'm gonna keep that. So go ahead, guys. Who's up next? Some stuff I got.
Keep.
You got what now?
That's funny.
Yeah. Did you get, what'd you get, Matt?
I got a Super Mario Portal beer cozy, I guess. That's what I was sent.
That's kind of cool.
I don't know what that has to do with us, but whatever.
Also in mine was a Halo 2 figure pack, so that might be something that will be in your guys' box. Came with one of them came with a Spiderman 2099 comic, #1, pretty good condition. Came with a couple Mylars. Matter of fact, here is all like the flat stuff that came in one of the boxes. Came with a couple Mylars. I Break for Wookiees sticker.
I think you definitely by far got the best box.
Game of Thrones. This is 2 boxes, so I mean it's a lot of stuff. Old school poster of some kind of comic thing. So that's like some kind of poster they put up in the window. So yeah, I mean there's all kinds of stuff from what we asked. We want to kind of just randomize it and actually, we're gonna do our best to try and figure out a way to get some really good stuff in there random. You might open your box and there might be, I don't know, X-Men 266 in there. You never know what could be in there from what we're told. So hopefully what we can do is whoever wins the boxes, they can make a little, post or a video and show us what they get in there. So you're going to get a lot of Absolute Geek material, stickers, maybe a shirt. You never know.
Yeah, my box came with a copy of this new Cena Grace comic, Ghosted in L.A. So there you go. You never know what your box is going to come with.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. What'd you get, Kyle? What was your favorite thing?
I didn't even open mine yet.
Ah, you bum.
It's going to be a surprise box for all.
It's just prototype, so it's all good.
Yeah. No.
We tried to send Jose one, but he didn't get the message, apparently.
Bryan got mine.
He was 5 minutes late.
So be looking forward to that. The first box giveaway will be, when is it, Matt?
So your chance to enter starts tonight. Like Bryan said, we're just going to do a simple giveaway. Just retweet, repost, share this podcast on any of your social media forums with the hashtag AGP200. And we'll be able to search that hashtag and find it up, and we will draw. That'll enter you to win, and we will draw a winner on August 9th.
Hashtag AGP200
Gives you 3 weeks. 3 weeks from tonight to
and you need to reshare a post and then tag that reshare. So
there you go. Enter to win, baby.
Yeah,
Sounds easy enough.
that is. It's gonna be fun.
It's a lot easier if everyone just goes and hits that subscribe button for that graded book.
Yes. So that's the big giveaway. 200 subscribers, graded book, and see what we got for 300 subscribers. You never know. Could be something crazy. So all right, boys. You want to get into comic topic of the week?
We have some feedback in the chat here from Bradley S. It says, much love to y'all, but I think you're better off without the switching cameras.
So do we.
I like the switching cameras because then you get to see who's talking, and it's not just little boxes everywhere.
Well, we'll figure it out. It's starting to look good. I think it's nice to be able to see everybody all at once.
I have a feeling he must be newer to the show and doesn't. We just started doing it this way, so it's kind of like a growing pain, and we're trying to. Because I understand, like you get the static in the window when it switches, so it's
Yeah, it can be. But we're trying out new things, so we'll
That's
definitely
what
get.
it's all about.
Innovation.
We just figured that it would look better with the main person talking in the middle of the screen, so you could actually see who's talking, than watching all the boxes around the corners.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we love that feedback. So give us the feedback. We need the feedback. We rely on it. So.
Sorry, I
Comic
didn't mean to
topic.
steal your thunder there before going to comic topic of the week, but
No, not at all. Comic topic of the week: eBay and comic auctions.
Yes.
Just we're not going to dive really deep into it. We're just going to give you a little corner of it. And what we want to talk about today is just some things that you might want to look out for if you only have a picture to go off of. One picture. There's a couple things you want to look for. Kyle, you wanna go ahead and start?
And guys, before we get too into this, I want to make sure you all know that we're doing these segments for you, the first time collector, or people who are just getting into collecting or might want some more information. Feel free to ask questions in the chat about the topic we're covering. If you have questions or if you feel like there's something we missed that you want us to touch on, make sure to say it in the chat. We can see all the chats, no matter whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Mixer. You go ahead and put it in your chat. We can see them, and we'll answer your questions. So without any other interruption, I'll kick it off to Kyle.
So when looking on eBay and these Facebook auctions and everything, the first thing I would recommend is don't be scared to ask for more pictures.
Yes.
A lot of people like to not give very many pictures. And it's great to zoom in, and it's great to try to get that extra, but sometimes that one picture of the front of the book is just not enough. We want to see the corners. We want to see the back cover. We want to see the spine. We want to see a couple pages on the inside. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
If you want to see
because
that.
Yeah.
There
I mean,
are.
if you don't care what your book looks like.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. If you don't care what your book looks like, then just go ahead and bid on that stuff. Now, I like how one of the important thing about that, what Kyle said, is ask for the pictures. Don't expect them, okay? Because some eBay sellers or comic sellers on Facebook, they don't have to put those things up. If you really want that book, you're buying it from them, ask for extra pictures. If they don't give you the pictures and you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. But it's not hard just to send a quick sentence to say, hey, can I get a couple pictures? And most of the time, 99% of the time, I think people will reply and say, no problem. Let me get you what you want. And one of the ones that I always like is like a side view where you can get the glare from the light so you can see if there's any dents or spine ticks. Because you're not going to see those spine ticks or those dents if you're looking from a straight on picture. You kind of have to, if you have a comic, it's very simple. All you have to do is pull the comic out and just kind of tilt it. You'll see the light.
Maybe.
Yeah, the light glare off of it. You'll see dents. You'll see tears. You'll see spine ticks. And those can be big issues if you think you're buying a high-grade book. Also, make sure when you're looking at spine ticks that you're looking for color-breaking spine ticks. Color-breaking spine ticks are the death of a high-grade book because sometimes they're not easy to see, and you'll send a book in, and there'll be like 3 or 4 that you just could not see, or 1 or 2 you could not see, and they will ding a book for spine ticks. Now, non-color breaking spine ticks, and basically what that means is a spine tick is like a crease in the spine of the book, and if it's bad enough, you'll actually see it break the color almost like a little rip in the book. So,
do you have anything to kind of show examples?
I don't, unfortunately. I don't have any examples right now. But you guys can see this in your books at home. You just pull out a book, take a look at the spine. If there's no color breaking ticks in there and they're just little dents, those can be pressed out. And we'll talk more in the future about pressing, but just know those can be pressed out to if it's a very high grade, a high key that you want to try and get high grade, it can be those non-color breaking ticks can be pressed out. So those are a couple things to look for on the spine of those pictures.
And another thing is, if someone's not willing to send you more pictures, immediately take that as a red flag. Either they don't give a shit about having you as a customer, or there's something that they don't want you to see until you end up with the book. Because it's just like any type of sell, the ability to be able to examine the merchandise is very important.
Yes.
And it's something we all do when we're looking through books.
Yeah.
So,
Jose, you got anything along the lines of that?
No, I was just gonna say, when like you were saying, like if it's tilted weirdly and you get a picture with it, look for like waves. That's a big thing, like waves in the covers.
I think
Sometimes that means water damage.
yes, but that's very important what you said there, Jose, because a lot of new books get these waves in them due to the printing process. There's a difference between water damage waves and the regular printing process waves. You know, a water damage wave. I mean,
Yeah.
It's very noticeable when you see it. But that is
Well, you can feel water damage because it's harder. Like
Yes.
the paper's harder.
yes. Also,
I think
go ahead, Kyle.
it's another red flag to look for when you're on online auctions and eBay things. If anybody tells you that it's mint,
It's not.
it's not.
Agree. I don't agree on
Never
that.
is.
I don't agree. I totally disagree on that. I think that
How many mint books have you gotten?
That's
I-
gotten mint.
Not near mint.
I just put up 15 books the other night, and 4 or 5 of those books, I really think have a 99% shot at a 9.8. And if they're at that
That's near
point,
mint.
but yeah, I mean, come on, you're grasping straws here. If it's a raw book, if somebody says mint, I mean, it's a raw book.
Anytime someone just says it's mint, I pass by it.
Why? It could be a killer deal.
If it's too good to be true,
It's
it
one of my
probably
rules.
is.
Okay, I get that. We get that.
And I like to undergrade it a little bit so that when they get it, it's a little bit above their expectation and they're a little bit happier.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to find a mint book.
Yeah. I mean,
If you look in the season,
10.0s, I
hard to
guess.
find a 10.
Yeah. But
Like near mint plus, I'll stick with I believe into that, but
yeah, or high grade. High grade is another one. Another thing is,
or new and bad from that one too.
yeah. Another thing is, sometimes it's good to look at the inside of the book. Now, a lot of sellers will put the color of the pages and what the inside of the book looks like. So I like that sometimes. That's always good to see. One of the things about Facebook auctions, though, is obviously they're not pulling books out of the bag and board. So I think with Facebook auctions, as it's becoming a growing thing that's it's becoming so big, and it could turn into something amazing. But it will continue, as it continues to grow, and new things will happen. New people will come up with ideas on how to show those books better. But right now, it's kind of like the Wild West. So just know that going in, that on these online auctions and stuff like that, that you might not be getting the highest grade books. So just know that, because you can't really tell. Now, that's why it's always great to have a graded book, because 99% of the time or 90% of the time, those books are going to reflect those grades if you're going with a reputable grader. Another thing is to remember different volumes on the books. So keep an eye out for that. Sorry, Tim, go ahead.
I wanted to ask you guys something, because I've been playing with Facebook auctions a lot. How confident are you when you look at a book through pictures with what you're getting? I mean, I understand what you're saying about looking at spine ticks and all that, but I know you guys are more seasoned than I am. When
Yes.
you're looking at a book like that, how how confident are you in your ability to look at the picture and know what you're actually going to get when you open the package?
I'm not with Facebook at all.
Any online auction is hard because, like Kyle was saying, or not Kyle, but Bryan was saying last week with Mylars, and Kyle kind of touched on it too. Mylars can go a long way on Facebook auctions to make the book look better than it is. Kyle could be the first one to attest to you because he's had it happen to him where the book looks awesome and the grader's like, oh yeah, it's a near mint or it's a 9.6 in this Mylar, and you get it and the book's an absolute piece of shit. So you got to be real careful when buying online. Like I usually, when I do eBay or online auctions, I ask for multiple pictures. Like they say, I'll say, can I see it out of the Mylar? Can I see the corners? Can I see the spine? Like you got to just get into meticulous to asking your questions, and a lot of good sellers won't even blink an eye at it. They'll be like, all right, cool, well, I'll get that for you. But some of them, if they give you trouble with it, especially seeing it out of the Mylar, it's a red flag to me.
Another thing, Tim, that might
I
help.
also buy from a lot of the same sellers.
That's what I was going to say. The most important thing to look for is Facebook doesn't really have the thing that eBay has, which is your feedback score. That feedback score is so important. And because Facebook doesn't have it, it's that Wild West, So even though I really want to jump into the Facebook auctions, I really want to, try and see how that plays out. And, I think that's the way we're going. It's just new. It's very new. And we really only have a couple of options for online buying other than going to the stores directly. And that's really, my comic shop, eBay, Facebook. There's only a couple of them. So that can kind of be a bummer.
So what I do with first time Facebook people that I haven't dealt with before, when I go through their auctions and I look at their pictures, I look at what they grade, and we'll get into this later, but there's actual sites on Facebook where you can go and there's ratings on people and how they've shipped and how close their grades are and if they've scanned people and if they've messed with people. There's ways you can go into these groups and you can find these people's names and you can see what kind of reputation they have. Another good thing to do is go into these buy and scammer groups, and we'll have him on next week. So I want to talk about that.
Yeah, this will be our comic topic of the week next week.
Hey, I'm thinking about buying this book from so-and-so. Has anybody bought from them before? And then people come on and be like, yep, he's a trusted seller. So once you get that relationship, like I have a few people that I buy books down. If they say it's the grade, it's the grade. I totally believe them. And for the most part, my regular people that I buy from, they've been pretty spot on. Yeah. And so, but it doesn't hurt to do your homework. And there's a lot of groups out there that will, if you take the time, will help you with that homework.
Yes. Rely on each other. That's what's so great about this community aspect of comics. You create a group of people, a network of people that you can trust because they need to be able to trust you because you're helping each other. And when there's, dirtbags that enter that group, they get caught pretty quick and get ousted. And because nobody wants to get ripped off in this community. Nobody wants to see anybody get ripped off in this community. So the community aspect is so important. So that's a great point, Kyle, that would work for Tim, is to have him join these communities and become vocal and, ask questions and talk to people through DMs. Definitely a couple of things that I want to say don't do. Don't go into these groups and ask little questions, just, constant little questions, this and that. It's one thing if you have, like a little big question, but don't just barrage them with stuff. Feel out the group first, see how things react, read their about page, read their rules. You're joining this group, learn how to play the game.
How they work.
Yes. So that's very important in my opinion. I'm trying to think of something else. Do you have anything, Matt, that you can think of?
The other thing you got to be careful is, like Bryan said, do your homework. Know what you're looking for. Know what you're going after, because there's some of these issues out there where you might think you have a first to print, and you don't. And do you know how to tell the difference between a first and second print on the barcode and all that? That it'll show you on the barcode whether it's a first or second print.
If it doesn't have the barcode, then ask them to look inside where it says printing.
Yeah,
In the-
or the front or in the back.
Yeah.
like
And we'll get into first and second printings. That'll definitely be a topic coming up soon. That's something we really need to talk about, and how to look for, tell if it covers a variant. So that's definitely something we're going to be talking
if you
about.
look on the barcode, like right here, you probably can't see it through my camera. It'll say like 21011. And if it's a second printing, it'll tell you right there whether there's a 1 or a 2, whether it's a second or a third, or those numbers will change depending on the printing. So that's something to definitely keep in mind too as well. And because there's some comics out there that are like, what one comes to mind is Spiderman 301, the white cover. There's many different variants of that cover, and they all look the same, and it's very easy to get tripped up.
Yeah, it's like that with a lot of books. A lot of key books, they have they'll have Marvel Legends variants. They'll have newsstand variants. They'll have Canadian variants. And it can be very confusing. And that's kind of our plan with this comic topic of the week. Not to give you the totally brand new beginner stuff, but kind of like, the intermediate stuff that might help you down the road. The really simple stuff you can kind of figure out on your own. But this stuff is stuff that you might not find in those simple pages or those simple beginner stuff. This is kind of stuff that we along the way have learned on our own that we're trying to give to you. So
we're basically trying with this whole little segment each week. We're trying to stop you guys from being suckers, because I think we've all been taken advantage of at some point throughout this game and made suckers and made simple mistakes where we got taken for a ride. Like, just Bryan had it happen to him a couple of weeks ago with that Vampirella cover where you thought it was the first printing and it turned out not to be. And like that Spider-Man 301 I'm talking about, there's toy variants, there's different variants that look identical to the correct first printing. You just got to do your homework and make sure like there's sites out there that'll break down what specifically to look for, and you just got to be very careful that you don't get taken for a ride when you're dealing with online auctions and Facebook auctions, or even eBay, and kind of research, know your first appearances, because there's a lot of people out there that like to stamp a book as a character's first appearance, and it's their first cover appearance, or
God,
like that happens constantly, or like they're like it's their first appearance. No, that's a cameo appearance. Like it's just there's lots of things you got to watch out for.
Yeah, it can get deep. So, but yeah, I mean,
Book 180's first appearance.
Yeah,
the biggest one I think is a Gambit one.
Yeah, but yeah, so we'll get into that. Those will be future topics and stuff like that. But so we wanted to kind of just give you a quick idea about how to deal with eBay and online auctions, and what to not get taken.
Another thing is, know what stuff is going for before you start bidding on stuff. It's easy to get caught up in the moment of wanting a book, and you just keep incrementing it. So it's really good to be able to know what it's worth, know your cutoff.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
okay. I can go on eBay. I can get it for $15. Why is this guy selling it for $41? Why are these people paying these crazy prices? So it's just, I guess it's kind of a know when to hold them and know when to hold them type of thing.
Yeah.
Just know what you're buying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it really boils down to do your homework.
Yeah.
Knowing your cutoff too I couldn't have come up with a better suggestion, Kyle. Knowing your cutoff, because there's been many a times where Kyle and I will sit in the same Facebook auction and we're watching this fodder book go for, twice, 3 times what you can buy it for on eBay. Like, it'll be a book that's going for $5 on eBay, and these people are paying $30, $40, $50 for it. And you're sitting here shaking your head going, what's going on right now? And
I think it's excitement of being in the live auction is what I think what happens.
That, and there's a lot of, and you don't know if this person maybe has someone in there with them that's bidding up the book to try and get more money out of you, to try and bid it up. So just like know your cutoff, man. Do your research the book real quick if you're not sure on eBay, and
It's just like with everything else, just be prepared.
Yep.
What do you think, Tim?
Yeah, we're gonna get into something real quick, and I just want to give everybody a warning. We're gonna talk about Stranger Things. Stranger Things has been out for a while.
Ooh, so good.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't seen it, I'm sorry, go see it. You know, we're not gonna deal with the spoiler stuff anymore. You know, we're just gonna give you a quick warning and whatever. So it's been out long enough as deemed by the spoiler police. So
8 days.
yes. Yeah, let's go for it. Let's talk about what you guys think.
What'd you think, Tim?
I have not watched it.
Yeah, I don't feel bad. Neither have I.
Jeez.
I got to be honest. Season 2 really killed it for me. I didn't like season 2. It was boring to me.
Dude,
Winona Ryder
is so much better.
Well,
Yeah.
well, I'll let you guys talk about it, and then I'll tell you what I've heard from all my friends, other than you know, the people on the show. But I can't stand Winona Ryder's acting, and I think that the product placement has gotten a little too ridiculous. It's like there's 10 product placements in every scene. Yes, and so I kind of haven't seen it yet either, Tim. I'm definitely gonna watch it. Just there's other cooler things out there, but I'm all for spoiling it. So let's hear it.
Oddly enough, season 3 to me was the best season. Like, I liked it more than season 1 and 2. Season 2, like you said, season 2 drug on. Like, it went to places that I really didn't need it to go, and that whole thing with Eleven and her mom and her becoming emo and all that. And dude, season 3,
Spider-Man 3.
I liked that. Else, I thought that was kind of cool.
like season 3, it hits the ground running. Like like I was through 6 episodes and I was like, man, this is what, like episode 3 or 4, and it was almost, the season's almost done. There's only 8 episodes. It goes by fast. If you sit there and you want to nitpick the product placement, it's bad. It's bad in season 3. I'll give you that.
I like Sam Goody. It
Yeah.
was nice.
Sam Goody and Back to the Future, and like it just. I mean,
didn't find Back to the Future and Sam Goody. I didn't find all that as product placement. That was the
That's the era.
So July 3rd, 1985. That's when Back to the Future came out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the way the mall was set up is the way that you remember the mall being the kid.
Yep.
Sam Goody, the food court.
Yep.
I mean, that way that it was set up was almost a tribute to Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Because that whole movie, everybody worked in the food court. That was the place to be. It was and Fast Times at Ridgemont High is it's one of the great 80s movies, and this is 1985, but every movie that was playing in a theater came out
At that time.
July. So they were dead on with when it came out. But that's what it was. You went to the food court. You hung out. You sat around at the mall. That was the epicness of going to the mall when you were that age, because it was that little bit of freedom that you had. And I loved it, just like I personally thought the first 3 fucking episodes could have been better. I totally drug, and it putted along, and then it gave you excitement at the end. Putted along, gave you excitement at the end. Putted along, gave you excitement at the end. After episode 4, it really took off. But I was like, they're really just like, it was, the first couple episodes were really just fucking like time killing. But that's all it was. There was nothing real behind it. It was kind of boring. But the whole mall stuff was awesome. Just like that Russian dude that was there, following right behind him, and it was like Terminator. Like, they did so many nods to so many things. It was fucking epic. And I just like the part with the fireworks where they're shooting the fireworks, and that reminded me of The Gate when they were shooting the rockets into the demon when they had to bring the demon back into hell.
The Gate is one of my all-time favorite movies. Good shit.
So that, and so like it was a total, like that reminded me of a nod to that. Like I was like, it's like it reminded me of so many cool movies from when I was younger. Like like I know they didn't use fireworks in the gate, but they were shooting fucking the rockets that they made, and same concept. And I just you totally see where they have their influence, and I thought it was pretty fucking cool that they did that.
Yeah, that I don't know. It's cool when it's like the first season was cool, but it is cool when it reminds you of stuff, because I haven't thought of the gate in years, man, and that was cool to hear that. I'm probably gonna go throw that on my watch list.
Like, and I don't know.
As soon as there's an episode where they're in.
Where they're in what?
Are you there?
Oh, there's a in there. Matt started talking, so I stopped. As soon as they were in the grocery store, they started picking up the fireworks, and I was like, I know exactly what they're gonna fucking do with that. I knew that they were gonna do that, and I know that they're building up to that. And as soon as I saw them picking them up, I was like, I know where they got the idea from that. I don't know. There were so many cool nods to me, and you know what? It could be me grasping at straws and me putting shit together that's not really there, but just because it's just what I thought of. But I could be way wrong. That's just how I took it.
No, I mean, I agree. I like to remind you of things you did as a kid, sneaking into movies and like Kyle said, hanging out at the mall, hanging out at the food court. Like that was the cool thing to do, and that's one of the things I love about Stranger Things. Not only is it a good show and the acting is good and the stories are good, the nostalgia is a driver, and the nostalgia is almost as big of a plot point in the show as the monster or whatever issue they're going through. Like that's.
I have a question for you guys. One of the things that I watched a little bit of it while my buddies were watching it, just kind of walking in and out. And one of the things that I saw that kind of, and this was really weird for me because it just made me realize that I'm old as fuck. And watching 11, what's his name, making out and stuff, and I'm just like, I just felt like it just seemed so young to be seeing all that, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm old. You know what I mean? Like 5 years, 20 years ago, I would have never thought that. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. That's why it's so weird being having that thought, because I don't look at them as teenagers, even though they are. I still, when I see Millie, what's her name, Bobby Brown, Bobby Brown,
Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah, I still see her as that little girl. You know what I mean? I don't see her as a teenager. So it was just weird. It was just a weird feeling. It was me kind of adulting a little too hard, and I realized, you know what? They're fucking teenagers. The show. How long is this? When was the first series? When did that first series season come out?
Oh, I want to say like
it's been a few years.
2 years ago.
So it's only been 2 years. It's got to be
3 years ago.
4, 5.
Let me see.
4 or 5.
The first episode of Stranger Things premiered July 15th, 2016.
3 years ago.
Yep.
So 3 years.
3 years,
Man.
3 seasons. Come on, guys.
Yeah, it's just weird, man. It's weird. Big shout out to Cobra Comics. Hope you enjoy your Neil Adams print, my friend. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I'm looking
Cobra-
And the thing with Winona Ryder is she's still, I don't know, she's
Married
still
to
got
Keanu
this
Reeves.
place in my heart.
I think
And
she's fried. I think her brain's fried.
I don't think her acting was super bad in this season.
Yeah, I haven't seen the season, so I don't know. But the first 1 and 2, it was so bad. Like, she almost ruined season 1. Season 1 was so good that her horrible acting couldn't ruin it, but it was pretty close.
You're like the only person I've ever heard say that. Like, Stranger Things is the reason she has a career again.
It is, but that doesn't mean her acting is good.
I think her acting's pretty good in it.
Wow, I think it's terrible.
I think she was one of the
I
bright
think no matter
points of
what-
season 1.
She's always got the same exact emotion, like, oh my god, where am I?
She plays a good overbearing mother.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's
She's dealing with loss, man. Like that, you don't think the first episode, the first season, she's missing her kid. No one knows what the hell happened to her kid, and then the second season, she loses her fiance and Bob, and then this season, she's kind of just trying to deal with all of it still.
so
She
good,
loses that other guy.
yeah, good actors are able to play multiple emotions different way, or a single emotion different ways. Hers is the same exact way each time.
What are you calling her,
still see
Kristen
Lydia.
Stewart? You calling her Kristen Stewart?
Yes, 100%. Yes,
I still see her as Lydia.
and I don't think that's
Right.
how she's always been. It's just since Stranger Things. I loved Beetlejuice. I loved Beetlejuice. I loved Heathers. I loved. There's so many good movies she was in.
Mr. Deeds. I like her in Mr. Deeds. I don't care what anyone says.
She just, I don't know if her brain's fried. I don't know what it is, man. She's.
I like
Anyway.
her in Mr. Deeds.
Yeah.
If they don't do an episode where she gets caught shoplifting something, it's a missed opportunity.
Right?
That's all I'm gonna say is they definitely have to have her shoplift.
That'd be funny.
Missed opportunity.
Right?
So
From
what,
her own story.
So what do you guys give season 3 on the scale of 1 to 10?
I give it an
Probably an
8.5. Yeah,
At least
Yeah.
an 8.
8.5 for sure.
What do you think,
The
Kyle?
first 3 episodes were better. It'd be like a 9.
I agree with Jose because the first few episodes just were they were pointless.
I don't know if they would say
The whole
pointless.
pool scene's kind of they were super slow. They could have done a lot more. To
I'll
them.
give you slow, but I don't think it's pointless because they set up their entire season in the first episode, basically with Billy getting taken over by the mind flare. So
It didn't even happen in the first episode.
it happened at the end of the first episode because he's supposed to
The end. So,
he's supposed to pound out. He's supposed to go pound out fucking Mike's mom.
go to Pound Town.
Yep, he's a MILF hunter.
Another
Billy the
thing
MILF
that,
hunter.
that I
Who's
thought
found
kind of
out Mike's mom?
What? Billy is going to pound out Mike's mom.
Which one was Billy?
He's the he was the Red Power Ranger in the Power Ranger remake, and now he just came in season 2. He's the redheaded chick's brother.
All right, I was thinking it was one of the kids. I was like,
Oh,
whoa,
no.
with it, that
No.
it's escalating quickly. I couldn't remember all their names.
Another thing that I thought was interesting was Keith's take when Keith told me about it. He said that he was tired of this villain. He's like, they just got to get rid of this villain. They're really just dragging it out. Did you guys feel that at all?
In their universe, that's their villain though.
But that's the thing is that I don't
Just
think
like in Supernatural, their villain.
Isn't Supernatural like
Right.
multiple different types of villains?
No, go ahead, finish what you're
Yeah,
saying.
monsters. But you know what I mean? Their universe is what it is.
Well,
I'll be
like,
right back.
yeah, and it's the not only that, but what you got to pick up on is that it's a different villain each season. It's the same type, but it's technically different. Like the first one was the Demogorgon, which is like the flower shaped head dude, and then the second season was the I can't think of
The takeover.
yeah, it was the I can't think of the name of the monster.
Anybody out there in chat
Was
remember?
was it the Hydra or? And then the third one is the Mind Flare. So like it's doing different things each time. Like the first one was hunting him. The second one was kind of doing the same thing as the third one was actually taking him over, and killing people and using their essence
Blobs.
or blobs and body parts to rebuild himself. So it's different. It's
The same but
I see
different.
it's the same but different. To quote James Franco in Same, but different.
So, all right. Next one on the list is Flash, the dumpster fire that is the Flash movie. Is this thing ever going to get made?
No,
yeah,
it's
is this
never
thing ever going to get made? No, it's not. And it could have been really good, I think. And
at the point now where the Snyder universe has done it over, it doesn't need to be made. It's pointless now.
Yeah,
there's absolutely no need for it because it's not going to connect into Flashpoint. And if they try to make it connect into Flashpoint, it's going to be stupid because they're set up for it. The actor who they helped set it up isn't even part of the DCU anymore. So,
have they come out and said that they're not going to do any team ups anymore, and each hero is going to have his own universe? I mean, what have they said about that?
No, but you can't. They set up a Ben Affleck in Justice League. Affleck's gone. Affleck's out. Robert Pattinson's in.
But Bruce Wayne isn't gone. I mean, characters. The people who play those characters, like, look at James Bond.
Dude, how stupid is that going to be if you're like, all right, we set this up in Justice League, and you got old-ass Ben Affleck, and then they're going to continue the story with young-ass Robert Pattinson. That's be dumb.
Well, it depends on how they tell the story.
Get out of here.
If they're doing flashbacks, I mean,
you mean
don't know. Yeah.
They don't want to pay. They don't want to go paying Ben any more royalties.
I don't think Ben wants to do it. I don't think it has anything to do with. I mean, I think they wanted Ben. I think Ben was just like, I gotta fucking chill.
I don't know.
Dude was on a highway to hell.
It'll be just like the '90s Batman movies.
It'll be what? Just like
the '90s Batman movies. They were all kind of the same continuity, but you had four different Bruce Waynes.
Yeah, but they didn't. They never really referenced each other, though, did they? I think the only two that reference each other are Batman and Batman Begins because it's the same actor. After that, I don't think they really reference each other.
Honestly, I don't remember because I try to forget the other ones after Batman Returns.
I'm with you on that.
I think the only thing that makes them overarching and reference each other is Chris O'Donnell as Robin.
Yeah.
Oh, God. The nipples.
Yeah.
The bad nipples. And the bad puns.
Because he was Robin and Batman Forever, right? He was in both of those.
Yeah. That's the one with Uma Thurman.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger and Tommy Lee Jones.
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey. The Riddler.
What a crazy... Think about all the stars in that movie, man. Holy cow. That was like Avengers from back in the day.
Guilty pleasure movies.
Yeah. Yeah, guilty pleasures.
The only difference is Avengers didn't suck.
Yeah. Wow.
That's a big difference.
It's a bummer that they have such a great framework, DC does, in all the amazing, 100 years of comics or whatever, and they are not going to use any of it. It's sad. I mean, whatever.
Well, is it Warner Brothers that just hired J.J. Abrams' company to come in and
clean it up,
tear it down, and build it up?
Yeah, then they hire like some big deal with Bad Robot to come in and start working things over.
That's a good question. Let me take a look here.
I think JJ. I mean, if anything, you would think JJ and Marvel are in each other's pockets since he's doing all that work with Disney owns Marvel and he's doing all that stuff with Star Wars. I wouldn't foresee them letting him do nothing.
And he's doing a Spider-Man run.
Yeah, well, yeah, and him and his kid are doing a run of Spider-Man. So I mean, I wouldn't see JJ letting them letting JJ do nothing with DC.
No, you're right, Tim. It says here we recently got wind that J.J. Abrams, the director behind Star Wars, an all-around mega producer, is nearing a deal with Warner Media. His company, Bad Robot, would set up shop at the media conglomerate, which is formed, blah, blah, blah. What could possibly make him worth some... So anyways, yeah, you're right. I'm not going to read the whole article, but it looks like J.J. Abrams, they're trying to bring him in to take over the DCEU. So...
Well, does it just say Warner Brothers, or does it say anything in there about the DC universe?
Yeah, it says it just so happens that Warner Brothers has a franchise, namely the DC universe, that could use an architect, specifically a guy that's proved he knows how to reinvigorate a brand. Yet they got very cold feet. Oh, it says here, the studio initially had tremendous confidence in Snyder's vision. He was their architect. Yet they got cold feet and things got contentious in regards to how to handle the Justice. So here we go. Zack Snyder eventually left the project, though he remained the credited director, and Joss Whedon was brought on to oversee rewrites.
Well, he left because his kid died. So
yeah, extensive reshoots as well as usher in the movie through the post-production process. So they go on. So I think they're just trying to find their own Kevin Feige. I mean, if they're smart, that's what they should do.
He left because his kid died. So I don't like the fact that the article makes it sound like he was like, "Oh, this shit sucks. I'm out." You know.
And some articles make it out like he got fired.
Yeah.
Like they shit canned him and brought in Whedon, which was not the case.
Yeah, he's a little busy.
That's why I want to see the Snyder version.
Here's the thing. In my personal opinion, where they went wrong is by trying to bring Justice League into the Man of Steel universe and letting Snyder do it. If it was going into the Nolan universe, I think it works 10 times better. If you go into that Nolan universe with everything that just happened in Batman, it makes so much more sense to bring the Justice League in.
The Nolan universe was so good. I understand that the last movie wasn't as great as the other two, but that whole universe was so good and done so well. They should have did whatever they could to continue that going. And I think they initially tried. I think that was their plan, but they got talked out of it for whatever reason, and they did the whole craziness. And wasn't Christopher Nolan like a producer on one of those early movies?
He's a producer on all of them. He was his executive producer on Batman and
Man of Steel,
Batman vs Superman, and Justice League.
Yeah, so I don't think that he really had much to do with it after Man of Steel. I think Man of Steel, maybe he probably was like a architect of the plot. Maybe, I don't know, but him and his brother are such geniuses that they should have did everything they could to keep him around.
And the problem
actually work on it.
The problem with Justice League is any intelligent person will pick up within the first 20 minutes of the movie that you're basically just watching an Avengers clone. The plot is the same as the Avengers.
Yeah.
100% the same as the Avengers.
Yep.
And so they're just, yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do with the Matt Reeves reboots, Batman trilogy, and like I said, I think the way they go to make that money is you do villains. You focus on the villains. Don't focus on the heroes. Make the heroes the side characters in the story, and focus on the villains and give it a different take than what Marvel's giving. If you can show up and show that you can do villains well, they'll start to overtake the Marvel universe, because Marvel, as we all still saw with Spider-Man Far From Home, they still have a problem. Even though they've fixed it in a couple movies, they still have a problem with getting villains right.
Yes.
And killing them off. And
villains are the best characters in any script or movie or book. The villains are that's why actors want to play villains so bad, because villains are the best characters. Why keep killing them? If they're the best characters, why keep killing them? So
we just lost Kyle.
I think he's having some computer issues.
I was gonna say, because he's kind of like lagging behind a little bit. It seems like.
Yeah.
Because he's like stopping at weird spots where no one's talking.
Yeah, we are having it is pretty hot. So when it gets this hot out here, we have some issues with
the internet helps.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. It does, man. There's just some crazy stuff that happens out here when it gets 115 degrees.
Spencer says on Facebook, all I want to know is when a Green Lantern Corps movie is going to be made. They're talking about that. It's in the works. I know that.
That's what I want more than anything. I want a Jeff Johns Green Lantern universe, and I would love to have Grant Morrison be a part of that.
Hey, good luck getting it, though. I mean, they announced it at San Diego like years ago before Batman, Superman, or Justice League ever came out.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to have been out last year, maybe?
I think because those other movies were so bad, they just completely said, screw it.
Well, and that's when they had their whole like blueprint of, okay, you're going to have Batman, Superman, and then Justice League, then Wonder Woman, and then Aquaman, and then Flash. And I think it all started to go into the shitter when...
Yeah, but too much.
Yeah, well, it all started to go into the shitter when Batman, Superman tanked, when Justice League didn't perform well, when Suicide Squad was shit, and they had to bring in different editors and basically refilm that entire movie, and that entire movie is two different movies in one. And then they hit it, a good shot with Aquaman and Wonder Woman. But even Shazam, people love Shazam. There's a video out there of the director of Shazam rewatching the movie and completely tearing it apart. So,
Sucks.
like, even Shazam isn't. To me, I thought Shazam was a weak movie. I didn't think it was as good as everyone thought it was.
Thank you for saying that.
Everybody's a lot better than the rest.
8.5.
Yeah, it was better than Batman Superman, and it was better than Suicide Squad, but that's not a hard bar to beat.
Yeah,
That's true.
There's been so many people kissing that movie's ass. It was a decent movie, but it wasn't a great movie.
No, I thought it sucked, and I thought the fact that he had to bring in Shazam kids at the end to help him beat the villain made him look weak as fuck, and he's supposed to be as strong as Superman. Get out of here.
Well, he doesn't know how to use his powers yet.
But
That's
even still,
why. But that's why Shazam is such a great character, because he is one of more powerful than Superman. But he's a kid. He doesn't know how to utilize the powers with his mind yet. So that's kind of like one of my top 3 all-time favorite comic storylines is Kingdom Come by it's drawn by Alex Ross. And did Mark Waid do Kingdom Come? I can't remember. Let's see here. Yeah, Mark Waid and Alex Ross. So Mark Waid wrote it. It is genius because the whole movie is about this God character takes over Shazam, Billy Batson, and because he's got that kid mind, he can make him do what he wants by entangling his mind and saying, "Oh, everybody's out to get you," and he doesn't know how to process things correctly like an adult would. So that's why Shazam becomes all evil in Kingdom Come, and it is one of the best character studies. Everything about comics is that whole character of Shazam in Kingdom Come. So I wish they kind of would have went that route a little bit.
I just think they tried to focus too much on the comedy aspect in that movie, and I don't think it was as great as it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't as great as some people are hyping it to be.
Yeah. So, oh well, we can always hope. We can always, wish that one of those things is going to end up happening, and maybe we'll get something. But one of my favorite things, and I know Matt's a big fan of this character too, is Kraven the Hunter. Ooh. And yeah, rumors are coming hot and heavy about Kraven showing up in the next movie. And if this happens, I'm telling you that it could be a really good storyline. They would have to mess it up royally to make it bad. So as long as they go by what we know Kraven has done, and if they do the whole, Mike Zeck, who was the writer of that Kraven storyline with Spider-Man. What was that name of that storyline, Matt?
Kraven's Last Hunt?
Yeah, Kraven's Last Hunt. What a great storyline. And if they do that story...
Well, with the way Marvel's MO is, it would killing off villains, they might as well just do that fucking story.
Yep. And then bring his daughter on. Go ahead, Tim.
Is Mysterio dead?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so either.
You saw it, Bryan?
No, but I read a bunch about it. And...
So you think it was just an illusion?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too.
Good, low key.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's something going on. This is going to sound really crazy because I haven't seen the movie, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's something going on where they're playing, like this is a play that they're doing, or there's something going on in the background where Peter Parker doesn't know there's a play going on in the background and that this had to happen this way. I hope it doesn't happen, but I could see them doing something silly like that. So, anyways, Kraven.
I don't think it's going to be a play, but I mean, it's Mysterio. There's one storyline that everyone needs to read that shows you just how badass of a motherfucker Mysterio is. And what is it, Brian? I see you nodding your head.
Old Man Logan.
Exactly.
Old Man Logan. Yeah.
Exactly. You see what kind of a badass Mysterio is, and
Can be.
I don't think that he's dead, and I think it's all a ploy. Look, he had time with that AI. Who knows what he could have manipulated the AI and the glasses to lie to Peter and say that, because when he asked, "Is he dead?" and she's like, no more illusions. It could have been lying to him, you know. So I don't think he's dead, but yeah, I think setting up Kraven the Hunter, moving forward, because it could set up, what is the storyline? Identity Crisis, or no, maybe it's not Identity Crisis. No, not Secret War. Fuck, I can't think.
War?
No, none of those. I can't think of the fucking storyline name.
Describe it.
Hold on.
Well, I think
it's Identity Crisis, Spider-Man Identity Crisis, where
Isn't that DC?
No,
Identity
that's
Crisis.
No, it's Marvel. It's Marvel.
But there is an Identity Crisis DC.
Yeah.
That's what started Infinite.
Yeah, but it's a Spider-Man Identity Crisis. It was fucking like an 8-page miniseries.
8 issues.
8 page.
Yeah,
I was like 8 whole pages.
Sorry, 8 issues. Sorry.
8 whole pages.
Front and back.
So it's 4.
No
What
average.
pages?
So yeah, like it
was a pamphlet.
he starts wearing different costumes with different personalities to try and
that's when the symbiote.
to keep like his identity under wraps and a secret, and that's the Identity Crisis storyline.
Well, something interesting that Cobra Comics brought up in the chat is he asked, who would you cast to play Kraven? And this is a nice little segue into our next topic, and there's a lot of casting rumors coming hot and heavy, and one of them is Kraven, and there's a guy that's campaigning for it, and Matt.
Keanu Reeves?
Well, no, but what's the guy's name? Matt, the guy.
It's a real Russian name, Stefan Kabik.
Yeah, he's
the guy. Yeah, thanks. He's the guy that voices Colossus in the Deadpool movies. And if you see him, he was asked at San Diego Comic-Con last year, I believe it was, or the year before, if he could play a villain, who he would be, and he even said Kraven the Hunter. And if you see a picture of him, he looks perfect for the role. Yeah, he looks absolutely perfect for Kraven the Hunter.
I think it should be John Cena.
No,
You can't see it then.
Cena.
Yeah, no. That
I love how when no matter what, even if you don't follow wrestling, when you say John Cena, you got to do this. You got to wave your hand.
See what he's doing.
Yeah. I remember the first time John Cena came out, and the only reason I knew about it is because I'm hanging out with my buddy, and he has a son, and his son was probably like 7 or 8 at the time, and that's all he kept saying. You can't see me. You can't see me. I'm like, what the hell do you mean I can't see you? Anyways, the next one is.
Hold on, I'm gonna link a picture. I'm gonna send you a link in the chat to the actor so you can pull it up, because I just gave you the primary window.
Okay.
So let me.
Bryan, the primary.
Well, because he's already in the middle. He's running shit, so let him.
Do you have
there? I just sent the link in the chat.
Okay. Let's see what we got here.
Why is he wearing any pants? That's weird.
Who, Bryan?
No, Matt.
Oh.
His link.
Can you guys see? Let me share my screen. God, this is such a pain in the ass. Why?
Stupid Google.
Can you guys see it?
Tell me that's not perfect for Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah, I think that looks great.
They just fell out of his chair. It's so good.
No, I think you're right. I think that
fell out of his chair. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he'd be good.
I'd like to see him in like a leopard.
No, I do not want. No, Cobra. I do not want to see Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Kraven the Hunter. No, negative.
No more limbo contest. We're good with that.
Yeah.
He's already got the good accent. Kraven the Hunter. That's the storyline I want next. I want to, if Kevin Feige is coming out and saying that we're going to see something completely different from Spider-Man in the next movie, I want Kraven's Last Hunt. And if they want to throw in Spider Slayers in there, and they want to kind of throw an Identity Crisis where he's changing costumes and and all that, which they kind of had hints of that in this movie, in Far From Home. I'm okay with that too, but Kraven's Last Hunt, even if they do it with or without the black suit, I don't care. Like, they got to do that storyline. Ugh.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting because we all know that they've said in the past they're heading towards the Sinister Six. And, we've heard the rumors about Tom Hardy's Venom showing up at some point. It's going to be interesting to see when those two things show up. Do you think it's going to happen in the next movie?
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely.
Depends on the box office.
Oh, wait. You're talking about Tom Hardy showing up?
That's a great point, Tim. That's a great point, Tim.
Tom Hardy showing up in the movies?
Well, first,
or Sinister Six.
Well, both. I mean, because Venom's part of the Sinister Six. Craven could be part of the Sinister Six.
I think
you got all these people. So Tom Hardy is from what everybody's saying. They're coming. He's coming.
Sinister Six.
I don't know if he necessarily needs to, but look, they've said it. If you remember Homecoming, the very end of Homecoming, Scorpion is asking Vulture, "Who is Spider-Man? Do you know who he is?" And Vulture says straight up, "No." He doesn't need that information now. The world knows. Now, at the end of Spider-Man: Far From Home, the world knows. Spoiler alert: it's been a week. The world knows who Peter Parker is.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I totally know who it is.
And so now it's, I think, where you're gonna see the change come is, and I think where you're gonna see something we haven't seen before is, in the movies now, the community in the neighborhood loves Spider-Man. And now you're going to see them turn on him. And you're going to see it where he's gone from the one hunting down the bad guys to the one being hunted. He's going to be hunted by Scorpion. He's going to be hunted by everybody. Craven. And I think that's the perfect
villain.
Yep. I think that's the perfect time to bring Craven in is you've got all this stuff just thrown at him. And this is going to be the first time where you see where it's like too much for him to handle.
But we do have a big roadblock, and Tim brought that up. Tim, what were you? What are they talking about with that $200 million or $1 billion number?
So my understanding is that if Spider-Man doesn't make $1 billion in the box office, Sony regains total control over the IP.
They have the right to pull out of the deal, is what it is. If they don't make $1 billion, they can take their ball and go home. But the thing that works in Disney's favor is Spider-Man: Far From Home had a better opening weekend than the last two, than The Amazing Spider-Man did, and I believe it had an even better. So it's, I don't know if it had a better opening weekend than Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2, but I know it's been their highest, most successful Spider-Man movies yet. So I don't think they're going to pull out of the deal.
Yeah, why would they want to? I just don't get that, because why would they want to pull out the deal when they're going to make so much more money when the Avengers and all the other characters are around Spider-Man, or the ability to have them be around Spider-Man, than they would if they, just took him back and only had a couple characters that could play around in that universe.
It's just stupid that they chose $1 billion. Like,
yeah,
how it's not a lot of movies hit $1 billion.
I wonder how many. That's a good question.
I think it'll make it. I think it'll make $1 billion.
I wonder what it's at right now.
Well, what's the stipulation? Is it just like domestic? Is it worldwide?
I'm sure it's a total.
Because I mean that's gonna matter.
So it looks like 39 or 40 films have grossed over $1 billion worldwide. So you're right, Kyle. There's very few that have even gotten anywhere close. And for the list of the highest grossing films per Wikipedia, then it goes Avatar, Avengers Endgame. So let's see here. Avatar with 2.8 billion. Is it trillion? 2.8 trillion. Sorry. Jesus Christ. That makes sense. Does that sound right? 2.8 trillion?
It's billion. Because Endgame is not far off from it.
Okay. Then after that is Endgame. And then after that is Titanic. And then Star Wars The Force Awakens, Avengers Infinity War, Jurassic World, then the Avengers. That's pretty amazing. Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame are in all 3 of those are in the top 7 highest grossing films of all time. That's amazing. After Avengers, number 1 is Furious 7. What the fuck? Oh, it's
Dude, people
worldwide.
love those movies.
Oh, dude,
Worldwide.
I love the Fast and Furious movies. Guilty pleasure.
Listen, Avengers: Age of Ultron. Jesus, they're all Marvel movies, basically.
Spider-Man: Far From Home had a $185 million opening weekend. It is sitting at more than $500 million globally right now. So it's gonna make the money.
No, it's not going to hit $1 billion.
It's already sitting at $500 million globally.
Yeah, with 2 weeks. So yeah, it'll hit $1 billion. But is that worldwide that they have to hit $1 billion, or just domestic?
I'm assuming it's worldwide. Like, it's kind of.
It would be stupid if it was just domestic.
I bet you it does not hit $1 billion. I bet you it gets to the gate of the $1 billion neighborhood, but the security guards don't let it in.
I think if you're Sony, if it makes more money than your previous Spider-Man movies, you leave it the fuck alone. Cobra says he takes that bet.
Which bet? That it hits $1 billion? I don't think it hits $1 billion.
I don't know.
I think it does. Well, how long? What's the time?
Until it's out of the theaters, because Homecoming, what I'm seeing says it made $880 over its run at the theater, and then now Far From Home is $700 million.
Cobra Comics says he'll take that bet that it will hit $1 billion.
All right.
What do we want to put up there? Cobra, what are you putting up? Kyle, what are you putting up?
Sorry, Tim. I didn't mean to cut you off. You can finish.
I will put up.
Walking
Drum roll.
Dead, number 1. Go for walking number.
We'll figure it out. You start thinking, Cobra. You start thinking. Let's get this bet made. So, anyways,
Cobra, I think you got a nice. I think you're about to get a nice new print tomorrow that Kyle really had his eyes on.
Yeah.
Cobra says he's got a Neil Adams signed print.
Yes. Oh man.
You son of a bitch.
So, to jump off of the Spider-Man stuff, but stay on the casting stuff. Another casting thing that we're hearing is back to Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things. Looks like she's going to be in the Eternals. So I think that's a smart play for Marvel to grab her and try and throw her in this universe because she's so popular and she's got many, many years of acting ahead. Mm-hmm. So very many movies.
So lock her in early.
That's a movie I don't really care about.
I thought she squashed that the other day.
Oh, did she?
I thought she did on somewhere.
Yeah, probably because she hasn't signed on the dotted line yet. But you never know.
It's the same way that
rumors.
Everyone came out and said that Robert Pattinson wasn't going to be Batman, and it was only because the deal wasn't done. And
same with the Richard Madden not playing. What's his name? And I always forget the character's name. Elric or whatever in Eternal.
Yeah, the same way they did it with Michael Keaton in Homecoming, that he wasn't going to be in the movie, and then once they got the deal done, he was. It's all semantics.
Yeah, but along the lines of Stranger Things, what's his name? Finn. I always want to say Finn Balor.
Finn Balor. That's a wrestler.
Yeah, I know. One of the kids from Stranger Things is going to be in Ghostbusters.
Yes, he is.
Going to be acting with Paul Rudd.
Yeah, I fucking love Paul Rudd.
I'm really hoping that they do it's a new breed of Ghostbusters, and they're being trained by the old school guys to take over, like a real Ghostbusters type thing or Next Generation type thing. I think
they've hired apprentices because they're going to be retiring.
Yeah, something like that.
That'd be kind of cool.
That's what everybody was hoping that they were going to do with the female one, because if you remember, the rumors were before the female one came out is that they were going to do, a remake where the old guys teach the young guys, and that kind of got thrown to the side to do the female Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that came out so great.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it. I didn't think it was horrible.
It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't
great.
nowhere near Ghostbuster worthy.
Well, they were trying. Yeah, I know that Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis were trying to write that script, and then he died, so it kind of just like shit the bed on everything.
Well, yeah, it's kind of cool that his son's doing it now. That's pretty interesting.
Kind of like Rob Liefeld canceling on us.
Yeah.
Bad dream.
I thought he was in the show with us earlier today. Oh, look, there he is. There's still Cal Rob.
Oh, so-called Rob. Whoa, what the happened?
He's missing it too.
The evil one.
Evil Soul Cal Rob. I think I
Look
like
at
the
the
evil one
Dolphito.
better. I think I like
The evil one
better.
can.
I think the best part is that
I think-
specifically he declined us.
I like the
I think you
the
should
eyebrows.
take this with you and see if you can get it signed.
I should.
Yeah.
I should.
Make sure you pay extra to get the little Deadpool doodle.
Right.
Yeah, two absolute geek.
It's
your
gotta be
friend.
like it's gotta be like a Deadpool teardrop. So it's like a teardrop with the Deadpool eyes.
Yeah.
Yep. To Absolute Geek, your friend Robbie L.
SoCal
Your best
Rob.
friend.
Yeah.
SoCal Rob Liefeld.
Oh my God, we send this SoCal Rob. How awesome would that be? He declined. He declined.
He'll just
It
Google
was all
us and
set up
decline
and everything.
again.
That's the sad part.
I guarantee he Googled that.
Yeah.
These people fucking hate us. I'm not gonna interview with them.
They called me a hack and said I was an embarrassment.
Those are those assholes I blocked on Twitter.
Yeah.
We just need
Three
to
of
pay
them.
for a cameo now.
Only
He
three
won't
of
turn
them.
down money.
I'll
He
give
won't
you-
let us interview him, but for $35, he'll say what a great podcast we are.
Right?
Oh my God, Matt! If you find him, you gotta do that.
Why? Why
Hell,
don't you
he's
just do it
doing for like
online?
10 podcasts.
Yeah.
So
Do you have any money from Patreon?
Just fucking no. Patreon. What the hell is that? There it is. There's the Deadpool teardrop.
Freshly tattooed.
Freshly tattooed.
oh yeah, sad.
Now you gotta give him a choker that's just a belt with pouches upon pouches.
I say that we just run up on him like at his table when he's
Run up
signing
on him.
autographs.
What is this, a gang beef now? This a fucking turf war?
We'll fucking flip
Well,
this table over.
it's not going to be my gang beef. It's going to be
Are we gonna start
your
singing?
gang beef.
You're the
Because
one.
I'm not going to be there.
You're the one leading the charge right here. You're the one. You're the
Hey,
one
I'm
that's
not
leading
blocked
the
by
charge.
Robbie L. I'm not leading the
You're
charge.
Robert E. Lee right now.
You guys are blocked.
You should walk up
Yeah,
to
'cause
his
you're-
table and just knock everything off of it.
You're the one that wouldn't go through with it. You're the,
Yeah, because I want to be able to interview Robbie L. Man,
Nah, no, you
I
don't.
knew this.
No,
I
you
knew
don't.
this was coming.
What would you ask him?
Oh, bro, I got a lot of stuff I would ask him. That would be fun.
You're just like
Why
you're just
so
like that
mad when
dude.
you write
That,
to your friend?
you're the dude in the
Yeah.
background that's egging everybody on. Then you're like, I didn't have anything to do with this. When it comes down to the shit in the fan, I don't
When
know
the
what you're
death
talking
metal-
about. That's why you got. That's why you got all these different shirts. So when you're at a convention, he's like, "Oh, you're at the Absolute Geek Podcast on." You're like, "No," and you take it off, and you got a Bogcast shirt underneath it. You're like, "I'm with the Bogcast."
And then you take that one off and it's flip
Yeah,
side.
then he's got a flip side underneath that. That's why. That's why he's on so many podcasts.
backup.
Go, he can just be fucking. He can just plausible deniability.
Yeah.
I'm not part of them. I didn't have anything to do with that.
See, I'm not blocked by you. Look.
Yeah,
Absolute who?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll pull it up. I'm not blocked by you.
Oh man. So
Just like all these people getting riled up to charge into Area 51, and no one's gonna do it.
oh, these guys are idiots, man.
You're getting
I don't know.
You're getting all the Kyles riled up to drink Monster and punch holes in walls, and
I seen the attack plan. All the Kyles are going like they're kind of looking around and going in.
oh, what is it? I can't see. I can't read what it says, Tim.
It says, please save me from Area 51 without
Clapping my
Clapping.
cheeks.
Oh man.
That's a big thing. Going to Area 51 and use some aliens and clap some alien cheeks.
So how many people like I would like to make bets on how many people you think are actually going to show up to that. Because right now, when you go on the on the Facebook page, it says there's 350,000 people going.
Oh, I thought it was up to 400,000 now.
It might have been
Go sign up right now, man. Why not?
because then we're on the list.
Yeah.
I'm already
On the government list.
dude.
We're on the government list.
I've been
They're
on-
all already, everybody's on the list.
I'm already on the Rob Liefeld list. I don't need to be on the government Area 51 list either.
Area 51's gonna block you.
Yeah.
Like, how close do you think they're gonna get? Like, they probably won't even get within 8 miles of it.
They can't. I mean, it's
Are you ready for it?
deadly force.
I know that's the other thing too. Is that it's not like it's a secret. They can prepare for it.
Listen,
Do you guys ever see those like little games on Facebook for Walking Dead or zombies where it shows like you can build these little bases and shoot these Gatling guns at these
tower
hordes of
defense
zombies
games.
coming in, and it's like it shows like how a beginner uses a Gatling gun and then like an expert uses the lightning generators to kill all the zombies. Well, Area 51 has those lightning generators most likely, so I could see that. Like that's what I picture in my head, like all these douchebags, like social justice warriors,
SoCal Rob.
yeah, SoCal Rob out there running towards Area 51 like in their cosplay uniforms, just like barbarians and shit. And then just
The
getting taken
furries
out.
are storming to the left.
Like Thanos, just like somebody shows up like with the Infinity Gauntlet and just
yeah.
like, oh, that was easy.
Nah, dude,
Can't get us all.
that's why they got a wall of Kyles all jacked up on the fucking Monster Energy drink going in first.
Yeah, plus 10 Berserker Rage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monster Energy gives them their plus 10 Berserker Rage. You send them in first, and then you get all the Naruto kids coming Fox running after them around the sides, and they got a plan. They throw them off, so they make their Yamaha dirt bike noises, so they don't know how many of them there actually are. Yeah.
You mean they
See?
got a sound actuator?
Yep. We have our very own resident Kyle right here. Yeah, there you go. That's the first wave of Kyles getting past security.
Oh my god.
And all you see is just like thousands of middle fingers come flying out of windows and air punches being thrown.
And every single one of them has every single one of them has some type of Deadpool shirt on.
Monster Energy drink hats. And
Yeah. Oh my god.
Limp Bizkit just raging in the background.
yeah. And some 41.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens with those
And
knuckleheads.
for some reason, I feel like Tom DeLonge will be on the front lines leading the fucking charge.
I think Tom DeLonge's like hiding out at Area 51. What are you talking about? He's
He's got a little apartment there.
yeah. Like this was part of the government's plan. They knew this was coming, so they got Tom DeLonge to break up Blink 182 to help him out.
Right?
So, what do you guys think?
There goes Kyle. So if Kyle's not on the show in a few weeks, you know that the invasion is happening, and he got called to the front lines.
And I got my Yamaha.
Yeah, he has to go clap some alien ass.
Maybe that made it all the way in.
Yep.
Leading the platoon of the Kyle Shock Corps.
Yep.
Yeah. So, what do you guys think about the rumors that there are people coming out saying the Joker movie isn't following any of the comics storylines?
I'm 100% okay with that.
So am I.
110% okay with it, actually.
That means everything's going to be a huge surprise.
That's right.
I don't believe it totally, though. I don't believe it totally. They have Bruce Wayne in there. I mean, you know what I mean?
There's going to be essence of stuff that we know.
Yes. Yeah.
I think it'll be interesting. I mean, it actually makes me more curious and more excited to actually want to see it.
Yeah.
And that.
'Cause-
Go ahead, Kyle. Sorry.
Because now that I'm walking in not having an idea of at least a basis, at least an idea of what a storyline is going to be, it's going to be kind of cool. And it's kind of cool to think.
that keeps the fanboys at bay too. The people that are going to be like, "This is not a Joker movie. That's not how this is."
the comic book.
Yeah. When we're making fun of ourselves basically, but you know.
We're good at that. It's okay.
But I think it's a good move. It's a sound strategy. I think you're kind of right, Brian. I think that they're kind of maybe blowing smoke a little bit by saying that, but it works for a character like the Joker, where we've pretty much already been told that he's multiple people. It works, so he can have his own storyline. You don't know if there was a Joker before the Joker that you know. You don't know if that's why him and Bruce Wayne have such a different connection. Is because they're yin and yang because of events like this. So it's a cool concept.
Jokers to the left and Jokers to the right.
Yep. Here I am, stuck in the laughter with you.
What do you think, Tim?
I think it's a great idea to have some new blood. My only complaint so far about the entire idea of the movie is the Bruce Wayne kid.
Yes.
That annoyed me when they were like, "Oh, the kid's Bruce Wayne." It's like, wait, I didn't need that.
No, you're right. It's cheesy.
Maybe because it's something to build on.
Cheese.
It builds on cheese.
Did you guys pick any new books up this week?
I just picked up my normal titles: Batman, Flash, Detective.
Read none of yet.
I picked up the new Venom.
Spencer says on Facebook, "Into the Jokerverse."
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's what they're trying. Have you been reading the new Venom pretty regularly, Kyle?
No, I haven't read it. I haven't read it since like issue 4.
Cobra Comics brought up, did you guys see any of those Wolverine vs. Blade Delato's covers available, or were they already gone?
Which one was the Delato?
That was the Wolverine Blade variant. I think it was like 125.
Was it a 125 or 1 in 100? Because I know the comic book shop for me had one that was a 1 in 100, and you wanted like $90 for it.
That's about right. I mean, right off the bat, asking, usually about average is for a 1 in 100, you're going to charge about $100. 1 in 25, about $25. So the ratio is usually a good starting line about what a book should cost, even like especially a popular book like anything with Wolverine, and anything with Delato, because Delato's so hot. But I know that book was on a lot of people's radars at first. But
the fight at Drawn has a system where it's first come, first serve. So the fight is so hard.
Yep, that's it, Tim. There you go.
The fight is so hard for variants that I don't even worry about them. Like trying to get them at the comic shop.
I think that's it, Tim. Is that Delato? Does it say Delato on it? Take a look here.
I don't know whose signature that is.
It's mine. You're welcome.
It's Jose's.
Mine.
Yeah. What else was out there that this week that came out?
A fucking $8 Amazing Spider-Man 25.
Bought it.
$8?
Here, look, I got it. I'll show it to you. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
$8.
That's ridiculous.
So ridiculous. I bought 2 copies.
I was about to say, that's exactly what I was going to say. So ridiculous, it's sold out. I wouldn't be surprised. What was the storyline? I mean, did you read it already? Did anybody
The moral
read it
of
already?
the story is that Tim has money to blow. Apparently, that's the moral of the story. Buying 2 comics at $8.
So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen to show everybody what we were talking about. Tim, unfortunately, I don't think that's the variant. This is the variant right here.
Cobra Comics just said in chat, no, that's not it.
Yeah, that's right here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They're doing the carnageized fucking shit right now across all the
there
books.
You go. So there's the Delato variant.
Yeah, that's the one that's $90.
Yeah. So I actually like the one that Tim has better.
So that's the Venom that I picked up.
I don't think we need a Venom Wolverine versus Blade storyline. I don't really care.
Can I see that? Yeah, can I see that again, Kyle?
Cobra Comics is Oblivion song.
That's a cool cover. That's a very cool cover. Did you get that same one, Tim?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. Carnage verse. Is that Eddie Brock as Carnage? Because I remember Eddie Brock got turned into Carnage during the free comic book day thing.
No, it's just. I think it's just going all absolute Carnage thing. So they're just throwing Carnage on the cover of everything right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
So Absolute Carnage comes out August 7th. And I already ordered them.
That's the book that Eddie Brock is Carnage in.
Yeah. And then because Donnie Cates went on Twitter and said, he pretty much said buy the books and buy the tie-ins, which I'm sure he's just doing it.
Yeah, he did the same shit with.
Sale.
Yeah, he did the same shit with the Silver Surfer Black, and there really wasn't a reason to go out and buy 2 copies of that fucking book.
Crotch shots.
Yeah.
Some weird crotch shots in that fucking issue.
I picked up 2 books. Well, one book was given to me in the Absolute Geek crate this week, but 2 books by a creator, friend of the show, Cena Grace, in Ghosted in L.A., and then Go Power Rangers. That's all I picked up this week. I didn't give
that Power Rangers book is going to be a monster.
I don't give a shit about Wolverine versus Blade or
that Power. Did they introduce that new White Rangers in that Power Rangers book, Matt?
what new White Ranger?
So that Power Ranger book right now is the #1 spec book of this week.
The Go-Go?
Yeah, Go 21 or something like that. 25.
Yeah, 21.
Yeah. So that's the hottest, like the #1 book of the week from what I've been looking at. And I guess they introduced some new Ranger in there, or a new White Ranger maybe, or a new Green Ranger. But there's a lot of talk in the speculative market about that book being a monster in the next coming months with the storylines that they have going and what they've built, and that Power Rangers book is a really good book right now. Which is weird.
I mean, I don't see anything in here that would make it hot.
I thought it was 2019 and we don't see colors on our Rangers anymore.
Except for the black one and the yellow one.
I mean, it looks like there's a new Ranger at the end of it, but...
Yeah, that's who they're talking about, that Ranger. So there is one thing I want to show real quick on that Delato cover. I'm going to share my screen one more time here. This is I can't believe how silly this is. Let's do this.
So Matt, are you off Amazing Spider-Man now?
No, I mean, I'll always be a Spider-Man fan through and through, but I haven't kept up with it.
It's hard to keep into it. Like, we started reading it, and it just it was just hard to stay into it.
It almost looks like a Mike Choi.
When did Mick Mars become Wolverine? That looks like Mick Mars, doesn't it? That cheesy mustache, where it's only the sides that are growing. Do you guys know who Mick Mars is?
Yeah, the guy from Motley Crue.
Yeah, that fucking Mick Mars.
He looks like the guy from Spinal Tap.
I remember the first time I saw Mick Mars with that silly mustache was Behind the Music, Motley Crue. And that's all I couldn't think of anything else. Every time he'd show up on the page, how cheesy he looks. But anyways.
Corbin's in the chat. You should ask Corbin, Bryan, to tell you about how he basically lost his entire comic collection.
Oh, no. I don't want to. Oh, man. I wish I didn't hear that.
Is he on Facebook?
Yeah. Comic Playground put out some shorts this week about him putting all of his comics next to a water heater that exploded, and he pretty much lost everything.
Did you lose your big books, Corbin, or is that just like your trades and stuff? Did you lose your personal your PC books?
I think he lost mostly everything from what my understanding is, but I'm sure he'll correct us if we're wrong.
Yeah, we'll have to have him on one of these times just to give us an update, because that is hard.
Well, he'll be on in 2 weeks, so we can talk to him then.
I never obviously I never like hearing about it, but that's all of our worst nightmare, that
right.
We're going to come home and our books are going to be gone or destroyed.
I was just talking about that today, about the thought of, theft or fire or water. Or
that'll be a comics topic for sure. We'll throw that in the list and talk about that soon. Ways to
not store your books near a water heater.
Yeah, ways to protect yourself against theft and
you should never put your comics in your garage.
Yeah, insurance, all that stuff. Comics should stay. I like to say if they're important enough, that you care about them that much, they should be in the same house you're living in, right? I mean, give them an area where you're not going to stay out in your garage the whole time, I guess.
No.
So, he'll learn from it. That's a bummer. As long as he learns from it and doesn't get down about it. And hopefully, if he did lose everything, we might be able to help him out and replace some of those books, because I know I got tons of stuff that I could give him. So
the awesome thing about comics is you can buy them all again.
Yep. And this is, Corbin, if you're listening, man, reach out to us and, let us know if there's any books that got destroyed that, just broke your heart. And if we have any of them, they're yours, brother. So
Savage Sword Conan. No. What's up with I'm not reading the book. What's up with Conan the Barbarian having a fucking venom sword now?
Isn't that the Null sword?
And his, now that he's part of whatever team up Marvel's got going on now.
I imagine that probably goes back with the whole storyline where, Venom, the symbiote, has been around. The symbiote god has been around forever.
Or the planet where there's multiples.
So that planet, that's a good spec book. I think that was in Guardians of the Galaxy, where that symbiote planet came when, Venom joined Guardians of the Galaxy, and Groot and Rocket ended up becoming Venomized. That was a really good storyline, where they went to his planet where the symbiotes are from. And
yeah, I know that people are making a big deal about that in that new book, and the new Avengers team up that Conan's part of. It's
Savage Avengers.
Oh, he said, yeah, he says it was awesome. Conan was gonna die, and Venom saved him.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Oh, how sweet.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's so cute. It's so cute.
Yes.
That's so cute.
It's so cool.
See, I don't know. I keep looking at this Power Rangers. I don't know if it's a book that's worth specking, because it's not like this is an unknown Ranger. Like, I feel like this is like two different Rangers.
Is it the Aqua Ranger?
No.
I know you said the white one. I just thought that would be funny.
I don't know. I just pick it up because Cena, man, Cena's a fucking good dude, and I like supporting his stuff. So I support, like I said on Instagram, I support dope creators. So
yeah, that's important. A lot of people, if you love this comics, and you gotta love the people that make them and put support behind those really, stellar creators. And Cena Grace is a good dude, and he's a professional, and I think that's cool. He's definitely got one of the hottest books in the country right now. You said that he's doing the Power Rangers stuff, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty freaking amazing.
Like, so, I don't know, after last week, and it's not something that should have surprised me, but it's kind of after last week, the way the shit I ran into with Walking Dead 193, and people being like, oh yeah, we're gonna get reorders on it, but we're gonna sell it at eBay price. It kind of made me not even want to walk into a comic book shop this week.
Really?
Yeah.
A store owner told you that? Yeah. I mean, don't say who. Don't say who.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what he told me. He was like, I was like, hey, I want to pick up Walking Dead. Are you guys out of it? He's like, yeah, but we got another shipment coming in soon, but I'm not going to guarantee you cover price. I'm going to sell them at eBay price. And I'm like,
they've already dived in price anyway.
I was like, you're going to sell them at $30? And he was like, yeah. I was like, nah, fuck all that. I'm not paying $30 for a weekly reader that I actually read, and I'm not looking to resell.
Yeah, if you've got a box with them and you're going to that comic store every month, that comic owner should be helping out his patrons. So, but I shouldn't say that, because I don't know, what that comic store owner is going through or whatnot. So, But that is kind of a bummer.
All right,
Did you
Cobra,
get
you have
one,
anything?
Matt?
Yeah, I got one.
Okay.
I got one finally. So,
What was the condition like on those? Because I know there were the 74-page books. Did they? Because usually those big, thick books,
Mine's mint.
Yeah.
mint. Like Batman, well, that's funny you say that. How many of those Batman Damned came back 10.0s? A lot.
There's a decent amount that came back 10.
Yeah. So if that book was really thick and sturdy and, couldn't be bent and stuff, and no spine ticks or color loss on, the rub on the back or anything, that could be a book we see a lot of 10s. And that would be cool, being the last book of the run.
You got the first issue of Batman: The Last Night on Earth, right?
No, I haven't yet. I need to get that one,
It's
too.
the same thickness as The Last Night on Earth. It's like a small trade.
So those Last Night on Earths are just like the Batman Damned then, right?
Yeah, they're not as big as Batman Damned, because Batman Damned's like magazine size, but it's like trade. It's just like a trade.
Yeah, that's cool.
Essentially it's 3 issues in one book. So
Yeah.
I think the cover on Batman Damned's just a little bit thicker than like Last Night on Earth and the Walking Dead book this week.
Yeah. So, thanks for listening, Cobra. We'll check you out next time, and
I'll talk to him tomorrow when I give him his print.
yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing about that. So.
He's already made a bet to give it to Kyle, so
I know yeah. Kyle, score.
I knew no matter what, it was going to end up in my hands. I've got a cool poster that I will give up if it hits $1 billion.
What? Oh,
The Spider-Man.
To uphold my bet, I've got a print poster that I will.
Well, you got to make it worth his while.
It's not anything near a signed Neil Adams print.
At least you're honest.
I'm gonna actually go against my better judgment and get my first book graded next week at San Diego Comic-Con.
What is this?
I'm gonna get Robert Kirkman to sign and grade 193.
Nice.
So
Nice.
this will
That's
be our
great.
CGC test, because we'll see how long it takes me to get this fucking book back.
Yeah. I might have you do one for me.
It shouldn't be bad. Their turnarounds haven't been bad.
Are they doing on-site? They're not doing on-site at San Diego.
No.
Their turnaround time is up and down, man. Some people say it's good. The other people say they've been waiting, 15 weeks or more.
It's worth paying the fast pass if you are going to get it graded.
Yes. If you want it back fast. If you don't want it back fast, then it's not worth it.
Yeah.
So, what about you, Jose? Did you ever send your books to CBCS?
No. Well, we talked about it like 2 weeks ago.
I know, but that was 2 weeks ago. So, you're totally done.
Jose's got other priorities now that are gonna
Yeah,
take his
I
time
know.
and money.
So, anyways,
Ian,
yeah,
you don't have any pickups for this week, Brian?
I do. I have. Do you have any pickups other than the books you got at the shop?
The only thing I got was I got another copy, and I got it off of Facebook auction. A first-time buyer. But I bought the Deadpool, Spiderman, Scotty Young variant. There's my podcast shirt, everybody. And but that was my pickup of this week outside of my normal books.
So I picked up. I got 2 pickups. They're 4 books. One was I made a purchase off of eBay, and I got really lucky and got them for cheap. But it is basically, I don't know if you guys remember Mad Balls when you were a kid, or if you were young at the time. But those were a big part of I remember that as a childhood, and they were in comics. And a couple years
I
ago,
would hope you would remember your childhood.
Yeah, a couple years ago they made new comics, and they did some cool covers, and I picked up that one for the first one. That's a variant, and then this is probably one of my favorite all-time covers. I like skull covers, and I picked up 2 of these in that same run. Very tough book to find in high grade. I own 4 of them now, and I pick them up every time. But I picked up something that was very surprised on how cool it was. And I totally forgot that I had purchased it. And that is Amazing Spider-Man 25. And it's not the normal one. Yeah. It's the, let's see here, Comics Elite Virgin variant. And I totally forgot I bought it. But the reason I bought it isn't because of Spider-Man 25 or anything. It's because this Virgin variant is the first cover appearance of this new character. And it's badass. See that? There you go, Tim. That's what I'm talking about, my friend. Tim picked up the same one. Great catch, Tim, on that one. That's going to be this has a chance to be a big book. They only made or released 500 of them. I don't ever believe that, but supposedly this is 321 of 500. Beautiful Virgin variant by Ryan Brown, and it's that new character. I think his name. What's his name, Tim?
I can't remember.
It's a really cool name. I can't remember.
I can't remember. It's an awesome name.
Yeah.
It's so awesome. I forgot it.
Yeah.
So
I can't remember.
But this is what I picked up this from one of the Facebook auctions.
Oh yeah.
Like I pick this book up every time I can find it for a decent price. And I picked it up, and it was from a new seller. So it was one of those ones where he had a few pictures up. You know, he gave a decent grade. I saw a lot of people that seemed like they were returning customers. So I took a chance with him. And he didn't let me down. When I got the package in the mail, I was a little bit nervous because it was just 2 pieces of cardboard in a manila envelope. And I was like, oh man. And it was like the packaging was all fucked, and I was like, shit. But I opened it up, and nothing's wrong with it, so it's A+. But my main mailman is pretty used to me getting comics, so I know at least in that aspect he'll never cram anything in my mailbox slot.
He'll never cram anything in your slot.
Yep.
And he always handles with care.
So
yes, he won't slam it in the slot, so that's good.
He always delivers on time, and he handles with care.
And he's gentle. He has a nice touch.
Jesus.
Yeah,
You have any cool pickups, Tim?
I think I just won this in a Facebook auction.
Ooh,
nice.
There you go.
New Secret Wars?
Yeah. $30.
Are you sure it's not second print?
No.
Okay.
So that new character's name is Kindred. That's a badass name.
Like Kindred Spirits?
Yep. Kindred.
I got that. I got this Black Cat Virgin variant.
Oh yeah. That's badass. Who's that cover artist?
Campbell.
Nice. Yeah, that doesn't look like Campbell. I like it. I mean, it does, but it doesn't look like the cheesiness of Campbell.
You can tell the face.
It's not full figured.
Yeah, it's not full figured. I like it.
It's only half.
My problem with Campbell is the nose. They always look like cats.
Yeah. And
What was
their
that what it
commercials
looked like?
are always ridiculous.
Didn't used to be, though. It just all of a sudden it came and it stuck.
They're turning into Turner. All the characters look the same. They just have different costumes.
That's why Ramita can't draw anymore either, because he started kick ass and now he's stuck.
Yeah. Well, here's this new character that we were talking about named Kindred. There is a preview of Spider-Man 25 where they kind of show you the character and where he shows up, and he really looks like.
Now, SoulCal Rob says it's not his first appearance.
And he won't sign it.
There he is. There he is to tell you it's not his first appearance and he won't sign it. See, he's giving you the thumbs down. It's not his first appearance.
So Cal Rob says, thumbs down. Oh my god.
I'm about to send a couple books off. So
To get graded?
yeah, see how this waiting game goes.
Uh-oh.
Just make sure you pay for the fast pass.
If you want.
If you don't mind waiting a while for your books,
That's a great one to send off, Tim.
you
Oh, yes. First appearance, Miles Morales.
can get money to buy books, and he busts out that one.
Hey, what's that?
You heard me. I don't need to repeat it.
No, I didn't hear you. It broke up. I wouldn't have asked.
I said, look at this guy pretend like you don't got money to buy books, and he busts out that one.
All right.
Yeah.
I waited a while for that one. This one was even worse.
Oh, nice.
Yep. I've got that
How
one
much did you
signed
pay?
by Latour.
I sold mine.
What do you say, Kyle?
How much did you pay for that?
Which one?
Spider-Gwen. Spider-Verse 2.
115.
115.
Wow.
Is it pretty high grade?
Mint.
Yes.
He doesn't fucking
Yeah.
know.
That's
It's
a
mint to
great
him.
buy. That's a great
No,
buy.
It's very
Maybe.
fine plus.
if you look, I don't see any ticks.
Yeah. Wow.
So I bet you it's about a what? You think it's about a 9.6?
Is it,
That's-
9.8.
is it a first print?
Yes.
Yeah.
Print.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't know. The guy that owns the comic shop says 9.6. Maybe have it pressed and get a little more, possibly a 9.8.
I
We'll
would
see.
press it, man. Spend the money to get pressed.
Let me ask you guys about this. So this Ultimate Fallout is still in the poly bag.
Take it out ASAP.
100% take it out.
Really?
Yes. Those poly bags ruin books.
yeah. And to get it graded, they're going to take it out anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
But be very careful when you take it out of the poly bag because some of those poly bags just fall apart. They just disintegrate in your hands. So just be careful and take your time taking it out. And
Open up with a razor blade.
yes,
Right down the middle.
turn that
Versus
into
hard-
turn it into a die cut cover.
What'd you pay for that one? If you
70.
don't mind me asking.
That's not bad.
How much?
70.
That's not bad.
For if it grades high, I mean,
Then it's well worth.
Just like the other one. I mean, it's in Mylar in the bag, but
Oh, it's like an 11 then.
yeah, you need to make sure when you take it out of
it's
the
a
bag.
12.5.
It doesn't look bad, but make sure when you
That's
take it
not
out of the
Are you sure that's the poly that bag originally came in? Or that book actually originally came in?
yeah, yeah, that's it.
I must be. Oh, no, I'm thinking of the
Black cover.
the number one, the black cover. Yeah.
Dude, I've been eyeing that book for the last month.
Well,
Which
you're
one?
not in a good time to buy it.
No, that's why I haven't pulled the trigger on it.
Which one?
Ultimate Fallout.
That's a book I need to get. I have the trades, but I have the issue right before that where he dies, and then I have the first Miles Morales Spider-Man.
I have the second print of it.
Ultimate Fallout is the first Miles
No,
Morales.
I have his number one.
Oh, I got you. So that Ultimate Fallout 4 in 9.2 sold for 85, but if you get up to there's a raw first print that says near mint that just sold for $95, not
There
even
you go.
graded. So
I'm gonna see if I can get my hands on that at San Diego next weekend.
another raw just sold for 110. A 9.6 just sold for 150. 9.8 best offer, but they were asking 400.
Real quick,
325.
Bryan.
9.8.
Jonathan's asked on Facebook, so you take everything out of poly bags.
I do now. The newer poly bags, at least. Anything since I take everything out of poly bags, other than those Superman platinum ones, just because I think that the nostalgia factor, I keep them in.
Yep.
But if you're ever going to get anything graded, you take them out of the poly bags. You have to. And the other thing is, a lot of those poly bags, like we said, cause damage to books. So do your research on poly bags too. It's very easy. There's a lot of information out there.
Now you got me freaking out, man. I want to split this thing out of the bag right now.
Do it. Just be careful, though. Just be very careful.
And nice razor blade and just
slice it in half.
Don't do it.
The most important thing is
do it so I can make a YouTube clip of it because you're about to tear the shit out of your book.
Be careful.
No, just like this, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, right like that. Just open that bitch like a bag of chips. Just grab one each side and pull across like a bag of chips.
I would just lay it down flat and take those scissors and just
stab it. Just stab it.
And then eat it.
Come down on it.
Eat it like
3 times.
Just all your weight in it.
Put a blindfold on. Put the Soul Cow Rob mask on, and then just go to town. Hope for the best.
For good opening. Get fire. Get some lighter fluid, and
chuck it in the garbage and say fuck it. No, I would lay it down flat. I would just fold up the flap because it's like an inch and a half of excess.
Quick. You already did it.
Yep.
Damn. Look at this guy.
You just got to be careful on how you hold the book when you're doing it.
And now he's got fingerprints on it, so it went down to an 8.5.
His greasy hands already is all over it.
Now you get your fucking
His
dirty
Cheeto dust is all over it. Yep.
His Peter hands.
I'm gonna send it in like this.
There you go.
It'll be graded even lower.
Yeah, that way they'll be extra kind.
It'll get a 1.0 or a 0.5.
Nobody wants to cross them.
So send them both in to get pressed, and whoever your presser is, are you gonna send them to CGC or CBCS?
CGC.
What I would do is I would go and
I heard some guys talking on the internet that weren't very happy with them, so I was kind of steering clear.
I would trust that guy. I would go and I would spring for the money and buy the membership and then send them in.
Hey, Tim, have you ever looked into the pre-screening with CGC? Do you know much about that?
Is that the eBay thing that came out this week? Or what,
No,
what do you mean?
it's kind of. So CGC will do something called pre-screening. You choose what you want the lowest grade your book to get. And if they don't think that book is going to grade that, then they send it back to you and they don't even encapsulate it. And
CBCS does that as well.
Yeah, but a lot of people like that because they don't want to get stuck. Sometimes, and this is going to sound crazy, and depending on what road you go down, it's good or bad, or you can like it or not like it. But some people don't like getting a 8.5 in a case because they can still make more money selling it as raw because somebody's going to think that they can press it and make it better.
I've seen videos of people throwing 9.6s in the trash.
So it costs $5 per book to do that, and that I spent the majority of my submissions the last 2 years. I've done 9.8 only, and but if you're okay with those books coming back a 9.6 or 9.4 or 9.0 and above, then
I usually set mine for 9.2. If it's below a 9.2,
it's just not worth it.
It's just not worth it. There's a couple times I've been excited and I expected it to be higher than a 9.2, so I fucking didn't put the pre-screen on it, and then it came back like my 9/11 Spiderman book, and it came back at goddamn 8.5.
Oof.
And he threw it in the trash.
Threw it in the garbage.
Got it and threw it away.
$5 isn't much to spend to get peace of mind.
Yeah.
So my plan is I'm going to send it in through my local shop.
Okay.
Because he's sending a bunch of books off anyways.
I would get your own account.
Well,
And
no,
then,
that's okay to send it through your own shop if you trust your guy and if he can do the pre-screen for you if you want to do it.
So the other thing is, do you guys have them pressed beforehand, or are y'all paying for them to get pressed through CGC, through their whatever the company is that they use?
I
So
don't
if you-
pay
Go ahead.
CGC. Sorry, Kyle. I don't pay CGC just because they take forever to press a book and then grade it.
You're looking at 7 months.
Yeah.
Right. So
Easy.
on the other hand of that, I've heard and seen where people thought that there was bias to if you use their pressing service.
There is, and that's a normal thing to think, and that's a good point. If you're okay with waiting, and these are PC books, if these are PC books and you're okay with waiting, I say get it pressed by CGC. If there's something you want to flip, you never want to wait that long to flip a book because it might lose its value in that time. So,
Right.
but if they're PC, yeah, why not?
All I'm gonna say
I hate
for
waiting.
the
Terrible
love of
PC.
God, please learn from Kyle's mistakes and scan that fucking book before you send it off to make sure you're getting your book in return. And make sure they don't damage it and then try to claim that damage was already there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally.
I wrote my initials
totally
on it.
book.
Oh,
Yeah,
well.
that's a good idea.
That's a
If
good
you draw a penis on the second page,
Then you know it's your book.
remove a staple, see if they pick it up.
but no, totally scan the front and back of the book, or just make a copy with your 3D printer.
There you go. That's a good one.
So, all right, boys. Anything else on your mind? We're getting towards the end of the show, so if you guys got anything else you want to say?
Hey, Kyle,
Hey, what?
did you see that shooting by our house?
Yes.
What the fuck happened? Did they kill anybody? Just shot and ran?
Dude, they shot and ran.
Wow.
Well, you guys had a dude who slit some dude's throat for listening to rap music by your house too.
Dude,
Really?
it's
Enjoy
fucking-
that.
It was like, yeah,
Oh,
he
just
walked
like-
up and he felt threatened, so he walked up. The dude was just like sitting at the gas pump, and a guy walked up and fucking stabbed him in the neck.
You're listening to
just
like
got out of jail the day before for assault.
I guess he really doesn't like rap.
It's probably psychotic or something.
He said it makes him feel threatened.
Psychotic.
Wait,
Yeah.
was it a white guy?
Man.
Yeah,
Well, does
Oh,
that
oh.
matter? Does that matter, Jose?
Yeah,
really.
it does.
I know.
All crazy serial killers are white.
Yep.
Hey, I was right though.
You can basically guarantee that.
All right. Well, if we're getting into race wars here, it's time to end the show. Like,
First name. He probably had two first names though.
So,
He had two first names.
And a mullet.
remember, guys, to
I don't think he had a mullet,
get in-
bro.
get into those absolute geek box, giveaways. Help us out. Share our posts and get entered into our drawing and get some cool stuff.
Yes.
The
guys.
road to 200.
That's right, guys. Like Bryan just said, make sure to like, subscribe to the Absolute Geek Podcast on YouTube. If you're in the chat tonight or watching, it's your first time finding us, and you like what you saw and you had a good time, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Remember to share this post and to hashtag it with AGP200. Let's try and get our YouTube page up to 200 subscribers, and we're gonna give away that slab. And don't forget to enter the contest for the Absolute Geek boxes. They're gonna be a lot of fun if you're a fan of Loot Crate, but you want something with more of a little bit of a personal touch. And to see our badass new logo on a box. All you gotta do to win one of those is just retweet, resend, reshare, repost, whatever you gotta do. It's just that simple. So if you're watching us on Facebook or Twitch or Mixer, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button as we're live every Friday night. This will be next week. I will not be here. We're gonna have Lance sit in for me. I will be at San Diego Comic-Con, so I'm sure you guys are still gonna have a good time with the crew. Everyone will keep it 100, I guess, right?
Looking forward to hearing all the goodies from San Diego. That's for sure.
I want to thank Tim for joining us tonight and actually participating, not sitting there like a statue. You did a good job.
Great
Are
job,
we
Tim.
recording?
Oh yeah. Oh shit. Yeah. No.
Take a page out of my book.
That's it there. So for this week's episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast, I'm Matt.
I'm Quesadilla Kyle.
Jose.
I'm Bryan.
SoCal Rob.
And we'll see you guys next time.